Hello guys, I'm coming to you today with a very gentle topic, which is for you to investigate, for you to check with your own self. What I'm gonna say is true to you, if it resonates with your deepest instincts or not. I will share some perspective with you, and please investigate for yourself. Actually, every single video I record, everything I say, please always investigate with yourself, because I'm not here to tell you what is right, what is wrong. I'm here to tell you that when we are connected, we know what to do. We always know what to do. So my service and everything I do as a psychologist and a teacher, running workshops or doing session one-on-one, is for us to learn how to reconnect with ourselves and to trust ourselves again. Simple. So this video is also for you like a opportunity to check. Okay? So now, I've been inspired to record this video just like 10 minutes ago. One of my best friends, really close to my heart being, who was there for me in the hardest times of my life. And she sent me a video of a crab at the bottom of the sea and a human being recording that. He's trying to grab him, and another crab came and hugged him in protection. What does it tell us about our natural instincts, our nature, a true nature? For the crab, there's no separation, me and this crab. My name is this crab and this crab name is this name. There's no separation. There's unity. So if he sees there's a harm going on to him, he comes in protection. And we also have that instinct in human being. This is our natural thing. When we go with a car and we see somebody hit an animal like a deer or a dog, usually our first instinct would be to call for some support or take it to our car and bring it to the hospital, right? This is our first instinct. If we see something happen to a kid, or kid is lost, looking for a mommy, we help him to find a mommy, or we help him to whatever happened to him, right? We want to comfort, we want to help. As soon as we have opportunity to help, our natural instinct is to help, is to support. This is who we are, this is what makes us human beings as well. But we can learn a lot from animals too. The empathy, the compassion is in our nature. So this message is also to those people who know about what happened in Poland, in Warsaw. There was a woman who was brutally raped and abused, and there were people who were recording it and nobody did anything. So I don't know exactly what happened, all the case, but I just seen some informations here and there. And there is this discussion about, oh, it's her karma. Oh, she must have been a victim mentality. That's why she attracted abuser. Probably she has traumas herself. Otherwise, she would not experience this. Maybe she is a bad person, or maybe she asked for it, or whatever. So we are like thinking, oh, maybe it's her karma that it happened to her. It meant to happen. It should happen because it meant to happen, etc. And this really it's really excusing us from taking responsibility for each other, right? I'm not saying that you can save herself or save abused person. You cannot. Even me, I can't. Although I'm a therapist and psychologist, we can only support each other and be a company for each other in this healing process. Because then every abused person has her own work to do to heal the trauma with the help of safe and loving human beings around her. Not by gods, human beings thinking that they're gods and thinking from the higher perspective only, absolute perspective, while on the human being relative perspective, they're completely disconnected, to not feel empathy, to not feel for other people, to block the human instinct. So there's a difference between the absolute perspective and the relative perspective. And sometimes we are playing God in situations when God wants us to be a human being. That's why we are in this body, guys. That's why we are human beings. Let's not forget this, especially in this spiritual development fields, where people are first to judge, like, oh, she is a victim mentality, that's why she had to experience abuser, right? It's her karma, etc. Guys, what we are doing, we are applying the higher perspective onto the relative level, while we are ourselves not awakened yet into the absolute perspective truly. Because if we were, we would know that truly awakened being is filled with compassion for other beings, is not able or want to harm anybody. It's following nature, natural instinct of protection, help, feeling for other people, and as much as can help, it helps. A truly awakened being would never say things like that to a victim of a harm or abuse. So who's talking then? A spiritual ego and a disconnected being who doesn't want to connect with the pain which this person feels looking at abuse of another human being. Or disconnected human being who has interests in standing on the side of the perpetrator. I don't judge, it's nothing to do with me, I won't do anything. No, I see the animal die, I don't care, it's not my animal, it's not my problem, you know? This kind of attitude is not awakened attitude, guys. Like, feel it. It's a disconnection, because in this absolute perspective, we feel, we experience, we are all one. And if we do feel like this abused person is one with us, the instinct is to soothe, to comfort, to help. Not to save in a way that now we're gonna be trying to take her pain on us and carry it, and you know, like, because it's not possible. This person pain, it is her gift on the higher perspective level. It is something for her to work through, but this is her own path to healing after the abuse. It's this person's way to grow. And sometimes after abuse, especially after narcissistic abuse or psychopathic abuse, for years or even lifetimes we cannot heal. Not every abuse is a beautiful gift where you can grow from. Sometimes it's destroying you for years, for a lifetime, you know? So who we are to speak those words, putting ourselves above something, when we ourselves are not really above anything, because truly awakened being would never say something like that. It would try to soothe the victim, help. If you have opportunity to help, help. There's a difference between being a rescuer, which comes from the ego programming. Yeah, like Jesus Christ carrying the cross for everybody. It's a difference. And a difference in bodhisattva mindset. It's a being who's awakened to the nature of oneness, who knows that until any single being is still suffering, I won't be free. I'm here for that being. This is the bodhisattva mindset. This is the compassionate mindset. In compassion, you are centered. And from that centered space, you can somehow do something. Not from the ego perspective, like I'm going to rescue that person because I'm a good person, I'm a rescuer, I'm going to rescue everybody. This is a difference, you see? But because we, in this spiritual ESO fields and societies, we mistaken those two, this absolute perspective and the relative perspective, we often say, okay, I don't do anything because I don't have any more rescuer instinct, I'm working on it. I don't want to rescue my parents anymore, I don't want to rescue other people. And we forget our humanity, our natural instinct. When we see harm, we do something about it. When somebody comes to me and tells me I had a narcissistic partner and he did this to me and now I have PTSD and now I am destroyed, I'm not saying to that person, look, well, you attracted that because you need to learn the lesson. Yes, from the higher perspective, if I can see that this person is connecting with me on this higher perspective and we can have that conversation, because with some of them I can, then I know that this person is ready to talk about it from that level, right? But if this person is in a state of chaos and lack of balance and lack of centeredness and is not coming up with this by herself, it's not my right, you know, to cause more harm and blame her for the abuse that happened to her. It's like we would say, like, abuse doesn't happen to good people, only to bad people, or only to guilty people. Like, who said that? It's true, you know? Sometimes you end up in a relationship because you have cognitive naivety, like you never recognize what it is, gaslighting and manipulation and hidden narcissist, covert psychopathy. You never experienced that before, and you're entering relationship with hopes, with trust, with well-wishing, with kindness, with compassion, and you give a space for growth and you accept mistakes and you tolerate a lot. And then you end up having a nervous breakdown because things going out of control, suddenly things are changing, you are shocked, you are surprised. You didn't know that will come because in other relationships you never experienced that before. And yes, you're guilty of not experiencing that before. Yes? And yes, you can, for example, learn how to have better boundaries, how to recognize manipulation, how to recognize gaslighting, how to say no and no compromise to any kind of abuse. Yes, that's your work to do after experiencing something like that, right? Or any abuse. Sometimes it just happens like that. And yes, you can work it through. That's nobody will reprogram you. Somebody can only help you, support you, to heal, to release, to learn how to regulate your nervous system again. Yes? But if somebody is trying to put himself above your human nature and his own human nature, seeing you suffering, and is speaking to you this way, I'm not sure if you're dealing with a true friend. Or at least, I'm not sure if that being is in this moment truly connecting with what you are going through and connecting with an empathy, have a space to hold that situation which is happening right now. So I always, in my own perspective, when I see this, I see how can I help I ask, what do you need right now? And always try to stay humble in front of that victim, because who am I to judge what happened and why it happened? Only in the soul of that being there's that message, there's that information for her to discover, right? So please, don't act like God in a situation when God wants you to be a simple human being. And if you see harm, find a way what you can do in that situation. Don't be out of it, nothing to do with me, disconnected. Follow your natural empathy and compassion instincts. Find your ways. If you see you can help, why not to help? If you can see that you can support, why not to support? If your friend is suffering because of somebody, and you're like, well, I'm not judging him, although you have evidence that there was a harm, just because you have some interest with the other person who was abuser. Think about what's happening here. How do you feel? Why do you do that? You know? It's not about taking sides. It's about seeing what's really happening, being a human being as well, right? Of course, we are not going inside of the conflict. We are not telling anybody what to do. But if we see harm, we have a choice. We stand on the side of the victim or a perpetrator. In this moment, we help the victim. And then we think about the whole story. Are we like, it's not my thing, let him abuse her, let her abuse him, I don't care, not my thing, you know? Because that's their karma, it's nothing to do with me. I know one member of my family who was going at night through the park, and one person who was madly in love with her tried to rape her, and she was fighting and screaming, and she was so tired of screaming, nobody heard her. And there was a couple passing by, and the man left the woman and ran and kicked him with the hard shoes so much in the ass that the guy ran, and he saved that person. That was his instinct. That's what happened. And there's so many different possibilities of reacting to that situation. And every single one of us will know what to do in a moment. Just follow your instinct, because you know what's right in a moment. It's not all the time the same, every situation. It's fresh. It's just not about, it's about not to deny our human beingness. Because we are connected with the sky, with spiritual world, with our spiritual nature. We have a heart, we're human beings, and we are earthlings. We are earth beings. We follow the nature. We don't harm the nature. We learn from nature how to flow with it. So we are supported by nature. We are supported by our Mama Earth. All three levels, aspects are equally important. If we are integrated human being, then we know what to do. So that's what I'm saying. Don't get disconnected above everything else, a God perspective only. There's an absolute perspective and human being perspective, the relative perspective. Both are important. And if we are understanding that another being is me, and I see harm, what would be my response? And this is for you to digest, and this is for you to think about. And if you want to check the video with the little crab, go on my Facebook, Malwina Stach. You can see it. I got really tears in my eyes when I saw it. And thank you so much to all my friends, to all the beings which were there for me when I wasn't treated right, where there was some harm going on. towards me. Thank you, you've been there for me. You were not educating me spiritually. You were not above human beings. Jesus' perspective. You were there. Jesus' perspective, I mean the fake one, the fake perspective. You were there as human beings with empathy and compassion, holding me in your arms, holding me, listening to me, and sharing your heart with me. Thank you so much throughout all my life to all human beings who were like human beings towards me. And we are all still learning. I am learning, you are learning. We are where we are, but it's a good reminder. The little crab in this moment has for me a master mindset, and I'm learning from that one to be a better human being. So have a good day and let me know how you feel about it.